Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. Today we are talking about Boruto Chapter 65, and I must say this time round, it was kinda fire! Although Shikamaru was basically being like Sakura this chapter, the story created hype to make up for it. Number one, we have Kawaki somehow having a Karma Seal again. Number two, Naruto coming to the fight with his new Sage Mode.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT!
Number three, Momoshiki returning as Boruto creating a new Rasengan Jutsu.
I'm getting played right now, aren't I?
And as always, I'll explain all of these latest developments in Boruto for you in extreme detail balls deep style. Let's face it, it's not like any of you are watching the anime right now. I'm joking, but doesn't that make it much more important for you, yes you, to hit the notification bell for the channel? Because we all need to stay on the same page as a community. Oh wait, I'm also forgetting something, aren't I? It's a tradition around here. Yes! Chapter 65 starts off with Boruto suffering from success.
I've been really trying and I'm dead.
As one cannot be the most overpowered ninja of all time without a cost. Remember, Amado became Boruto's dealer and gave him pills that suppressed the Karma Seal. So it has caused him to have a heart attack. As these pills have side effects, he is sweating buckets whilst holding his heart in agony on the ground. Now in chapter 65, Boruto suddenly stops moving completely. Boruto's perception freezes as the area is covered in smoke, engulfing everything in sight. No, Amado hasn't arrived on the scene smoking that good shit. Instead, Boruto gets a final glance at Kawaki and Code, who are standing still and speechless. It's at this moment Boruto's Zawardo stand has activated. Yes, that was a motherfucking JoJo reference. I love JoJo.
We do not care.
So Boruto has this Zawardo moment whilst feeling a dangerous aura surrounding the area. We then see the long-awaited reveal of Momoshiki's return to the story as a JoJo stand. He is sat upon a tree branch watching on. A key thing to point is that this version of Momoshiki has broken horns, which is a clear throwback to chapter 54 when Boruto broke his horns to free himself of Momoshiki's control. Momoshiki drops down telling Boruto, and I'm gonna try my godly Otsutsuki voice for
We do not care.
even if you hope the karmic extraction with some trifling drug, bitch, it's not more than a mere stopgap measure. What kind of voice was that? Anyway, whilst Momoshiki laughs at Boruto, he struggles to speak. Everybody else, including Ada and Damien, are completely frozen in time. So it's not just about location, the entire world is frozen. Boruto quickly realizes this and understands that he's in the same space he was in when he killed Momoshiki in chapter 10. Remember, not even my boy Sasuke can't see time stopping anymore because they nerfed the GOAT. Before, his Rasengan allowed him to feel it, but it's not Rasengan anymore, it's Rasengan.
Oh fuck.
This is setting up even more about Boruto's lonely path and destiny. Momoshiki recognizes that Code is the one who possesses the 10 tails and states it's a perfect time to kill him. He proceeds to tell Boruto's consciousness, "Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way, bitch! Move, bitch! Get out the way! I'm taking out!" Boruto remains immobilized and Momoshiki gains extra time to control him. Momoshiki, unlike before, isn't concerned with Boruto using chakra or being burnt out from it. This time he was able to take advantage of Boruto's attempt to tap further into the Karma Seal powers. Momoshiki's consciousness in turn was fueled up to even stop time like he did when he first gave Boruto the Karma Seal. At the end of the day, Boruto is trying to use 80% of his DNA DNA. He is more Otsutsuki than human now. Now, when we come back to chapter 65, Kawaki yells out Boruto as he starts running towards his brother. However, Kawaki stops in his tracks as he witnesses something weird is happening. Boroshiki backflips in the air right in front of Code and does a huge Odama Rasengan, instantly trying to blow him up. Code is fascinated at Boruto's new power level and claims he's on a completely different strength level right now, basically admitting he's built different, and Momoshiki claps back that he will learn the same lesson. So as you can notice, Boruto has a broken horn on his right side. This is because Boruto overcame Momoshiki's abduction of his body last time in the fight against Kawaki and Sasuke by breaking the horn. This time, however, Boruto has less options, which means he may not have a way to forcibly reverse the takeover. So unlike the previous two times where Boruto was low on chakra, causing Momoshiki to appear, this time he has a stronger control. Therefore, Momoshiki doesn't need to be held back with his attacks. But if there is a way for Boruto to forcefully take back control of his body, it would be by destroying something of Momoshiki's like he did with the horn. This could be where Boruto gets his scar we see in chapter 1 in the flash forward. I know, you're probably wondering, oh my god, Adil, ABD, you say this every month. Stop trying to clickbait me. You can't match Kishimoto's clickbait in the future. Wait, what? Let me try. Hear me out. If Boruto uses a kunai or somebody slashes his eye, it could reverse the transformation in the same way it did with the horn. Ikemoto did mention in an interview that the designs in the time skip might change slightly, which could be a reference to Boruto's headband missing the slash from the scar, and what do we know? Boruto isn't wearing his headband. Either way, for the storytelling, this would be an opportunistic time for Boruto to receive his trademark scar, which would make sense as Boruto would choose to take out his own eye if it were to save Naruto's life or even Shikamaru. Imagine a struggle between Momoshiki and Boruto where the headband is then given a marking and eventually his eye is taken out. Now when we look into complete detail of Boruto chapter 65 and look into the power scaling, Code processes that Boruto's body has been taken over by Momoshiki. He hears one word, Rasengan. Momoshiki shoots out an Odama supercharged Rasengan, something that would be impossible for Boruto to do in his normal state. Even Kakashi stated to Boruto that with your chakra reserves, you wouldn't be able to learn the Odama Rasengan. So to put things into perspective, this is just a normal Rasengan for Momoshiki, meaning that he somehow was able to fuel Boruto's overall power to match his and be even beyond. So now you're probably wondering, Adil, I don't understand how is he doing that? Otsutsuki don't have innate chakra and Boruto's chakra isn't as great as his father neither. Was Boruto seen absorbing chakra before his attack? Well, the only explanation we got is that Momoshiki, due to his millennia plus experience of cultivating chakra fruits, it made him an expert at chakra control and manipulation, and through Boruto's body he's just utilizing all of that experience to be able to make a normal Rasengan look that huge. This would mean that even using a limited amount of chakra Boruto possesses, Momoshiki is able to reinforce it with better chakra control. So in an instant, Code gets blasted with the most overpowered Rasengan he has ever seen, but luckily he manages to dodge it by using one of his claws to transition. Code then notes that he understands why Boro lost to Boroshiki. He believes that even if it's just a karma seal, only a true Otsutsuki can bring out its true power. This only proves that even though Boruto has inherited thousands of years of battle experience from Momoshiki, he still isn't good enough to use that to its full effect. He still has to learn and train with his new power to some degree before he even comes close to the level of Momoshiki. So as you can see, Boroshiki claps back at Code that he will feel the same wrath that Boro did. That's right, the two are about to throw some hands with each other, but we're then back to Konoha. In Konoha, Konoha, we're back with Sai, Sumire and Amado together. Remember, in the last chapter, it was revealed by Shikamaru that Sasuke was still out of the village looking for code, while Sai was guarding Amado with Sumire. As usual, Amado is smoking some of that good shit. Who would have thought it? As we all know, Amado's smoking some of that good shit, plus talking with his weird sign shit equals he's a sussy baka. He's a sussy little bitch, and I've done a video on him already explaining how he could be the final villain of Boruto. So if you guys haven't checked out that theory and that in-depth analysis proving the fact that he could be the final villain, an Aizen level plan and a big plot twist, go check it out. Amado starts off by asking how Konoha believes that Kawaki is fighting Code. He wants those facts. Sai explains that they've found an unidentified chakra signature and it wouldn't be anybody else but Code. However, Amado states that it is too early for Code to find Kawaki, especially due to the fact Code does not have any sensing abilities, which implies the existence of a catalyst, i.e. Ada. But Konoha isn't aware of Ada's existence, and hence their best guess would be a Kara outer. This guess was shut down by Amado since there has never been a Kara outer with that kind of ability to his knowledge. While Sai goes off stating that this might be a good thing if they can shut down Code here and now, he notices that Amado dozing off, who is still thinking about Kawaki. Amado thinks about how he and Kawaki got this far already, praying that Kawaki doesn't muck things up right now. At first glance, this could allude to the events of defeating Jigen and Ishiki. However, there could be much more about it. Amado is acting like a sussy baka once again. Yeah, I said it. It's cringe, but I had to say he's a sussy. So this clearly seems like Amado and Kawaki ended up making a deal where Amado possibly gave him the power of the karma, which he offered to Kawaki back in chapter 59. We'll discuss this in more detail later in the video as more is revealed, so please stick around till the end. Now obviously if this was the case, then it would be off screen because we as the readers didn't get to see those panels yet. But then that would mean Ada, due to her clairvoyance power, should have known this information of Kawaki having karma all along, even during Code's attempt to capture him. Also, don't you find it a bit odd that Amado did not inform Konoha about Ada's existence if he has come to this conclusion that, oh, she has been activated once again? Amado says no outer would be able to aid Code in tracking Kawaki down, but surely he'd know Ada can. After all, he was the one who made her, so why'd he choose to omit this information? This might go back to our theory of Amado and Ada working together, regarding how Amado is secretly working for an Otsutsuki or is one himself. Please check out that video and don't forget about it next time, bitch. I'm kidding. You know I'm not like that. So with that, I am now passing the video on to Harrison. Don't boo him. I know you guys are like making fun of him in the comments saying Kawaki, and he says it with a quack, but that's just his accent, right? And I need a break. I'm kidding. But guys, he's you know, ABD is expanding, making money, making moves.
I like money.
I'm joking. But you guys get the point, right? So give him some slack. Alright, Harrison, you can take over now.
Yes, thank you, Adil, but first, I need to remind you guys about Gemstone Legends, who are doing a special Christmas contest that's about to end very, very soon. You could win yourself an iPhone 13 Pro or a Samsung Galaxy 21 Plus. All you have to do is download Gemstone Legends from the link below or with the help of the QR code on screen right now. Play the game and improve your overall power score by leveling up 5 of the best heroes that you own. Then you will instantly get a chance to win for getting the highest score among all the participants or get daily rewards for breaking your own records. The game is free and of course fun to play, so don't miss out and click right now. Anyway, back to business. As we return to the battlefield, we see Boroshiki firing off another massive Rasengan, which is followed up by another one. We then get a bird's eye view of the battlefield, showing the insane amount of damage Boroshiki has done to the surrounding area with his multiple giant Rasengans, which further proves that this time Momoshiki has access to much more of Boruto's chakra than ever before, as previously he had to be careful not to use too much. Ada interferes and advises Code to leave immediately, adding that there is no way that Code will hold up against such a powerful powerful opponent. Code, being big brain for once in his goddamn life, uses his claw marks to get behind Kawaki, capturing him. Code, knowing the importance Kawaki holds to Momoshiki as a god tree sacrifice, realized that the only way he's going to get out of this mess alive is to use Kawaki as a shield. That said, Code decides to take his leave with Kawaki. However, Boroshiki points two fingers at him like a gun. Here, he starts forming another Rasengan, but it's a little bit different. This jutsu, which Boroshiki calls the Rasendan, literally turns his Rasengan into a goddamn gun. Yeah, that's right, as we've seen in this chapter, where the normal Rasengan leaves craters behind, more like a bomb, this one fires straight through Code, piercing his shoulder like a goddamn bullet. This is most likely the compressed Rasengan from the anime, just with a much cooler name, of course. This Rasengan, as the name suggests, is a compressed and condensed version of the Rasengan. Using this technique, Boruto was able to break through the strongest material known to man, hardened carbon. My man literally broke diamond. Anyway, Kawaki takes this chance to get away from Code as Boroshiki rushes to land another clean hit, sending Code flying. Momoshiki literally mocks Code's power and karma, saying that it's so shit it is a dud, which can't even absorb jutsus. At this point, Ada tries to get Code's attention, asking if he can hear her, more than likely to tell him of Naruto and Shikamaru who are on the way. Boroshiki then drags Kawaki away, but as he tries to resist, he says Kawaki should be grateful, and if he doesn't calm down, then he'll end up with broken limbs. Well, Kawaki doesn't listen, of course, and proceeds to attack and then get countered. However, just before Momoshiki cracks Kawaki's arms, he is unable to move as a shadow extends towards him and immobilizes him. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Konoha's reinforcements, Shikamaru and Sage Mode Naruto are here! Woo! Yeah! They didn't even do anything. Naruto swiftly grabs Kawaki and takes him out of Boroshiki's range, whilst Shikamaru tries to immobilize Boroshiki for as long as he can. Annoyed, Boroshiki starts absorbing the shadow binding jutsu. Whilst he does that, we get a scene of Ada being annoyed, saying that this situation is total mayhem and Code should just call it a day. However, in response, Code just gives off a devilish smirk, remarking how Naruto's second in command is here, instantly giving us major Shikamaru death flags. As Naruto tends to his second son, Kawaki pleads for him to run away, as this time he really will die. But we all know this isn't going to happen, right, Kishimoto? Right? Anyway, as one would expect, Naruto keeps declining his request as it's his job to protect the village and save his people as the Hokage. Using this moment as a distraction, Code extends his claws to teleport. That's a sick word. Teleport behind Shikamaru, using him as a human shield. Code starts threatening Naruto to not move, or else he will kill Shikamaru. But because Shikamaru is a total badass, he doesn't let that get in the way of the plan. He is a smart and calculated individual who knows the best move to make to ensure the best chance of victory. Heck, it wouldn't even surprise me if Shikamaru pulled out some move like the shadow paralysis secretly going through one of Code's claw marks, paralyzing him in the same way that Shikamaru did against Tamari in the tuning exams. How insane would that be? After all, they've referenced past events like this in Boruto before, such as the Naruto and Sasuke Shuriken transformation thing. That's been done like 100 times already. That being said, Shikamaru keeps asking Naruto to attack regardless, since getting rid of Code is more important. Whilst Naruto is stuck in this dilemma, Momoshiki makes a game-changing decision. He declares that he will help Code in defeating Naruto, since he is a problem for Momoshiki as well. Whilst Code isn't too happy about working with Momoshiki, since despite worshipping the Otsutsuki, it's Ishiki above all to him. Momoshiki is trying to piggyback off of his work, so Code is reluctant to oblige. However, he does accept it since, you know, Naruto's still pretty goddamn strong at the end of the day, let's not kid ourselves. And so Boroshiki extends his right hand hand again to form a Rasengan, but it's intercepted by Kawaki, who gets his ass kicked. It's here when Boroshiki uses the ultra big ball badonka donk ass Rasengan to attack Naruto, who crosses his arms to create a block. What exactly Naruto thinks he's gonna be blocking, I don't know, but I know for a fact it's not gonna be that. This, like, I don't know, continent-sized Rasengan shatters the nearby rocks and surrounding. Continent-sized. Okay, I might be exaggerating slightly, but it causes the smoke to disperse. It's here when Boroshiki notices something weird and states that his Rasengan is, drumroll please, getting absorbed. But the question is, by who? We get a flashback to chapter 51 of the manga, where Amado asks Kawaki whether it's powerlessness that's irritating him or the grief of losing karma. This is followed by another voiceover by Amado, from chapter 59 this time, where he offers Kawaki the weapon-only karma. Amado, tempting words of a brand new power with no perceived drawback since Ishiki's gone for good, seems to have finally pushed Kawaki into making a deal. Now, as we said earlier, this must have happened behind the scenes. Amado stating how he and Kawaki had gone so far would make a lot of sense in this context. In chapter 60, Kawaki stated he has one option left to protect Konoha and Naruto, which he stated at the night time. The following chapter begins sometime after this. We never got to see what exactly Kawaki was up to during that gap between chapter 60 and 61. More than likely, Kawaki accepted the Amado deal before he planned to run away and confront Code. In the last few chapter reviews, we questioned Kawaki's logic, thinking even if he gave himself up, how would that stop Code in apprehending Naruto, whom he wants to save? Now, everything is starting to fall into place and make more sense, as Kawaki had always planned to fight and kill Code after he was away from Konoha regardless. Kawaki not revealing his karma was a tactical plan, which failed due to Boruto's intervention. This is why Kawaki erased his chakra signature to fight alone. Coming back to the chapter, we see a horn protruding from Kawaki's head as the karma pattern spreads to each of his fingers on his left hand. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Kawaki has his karma back. The time skip is coming. The scar is coming. The Jogan is coming. It's all coming together. Boruto is the GOAT!
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Anyway, this is crazy! Even Momoshiki and Code are shocked, for God's sake, since Kawaki shouldn't even have his karma seal. Because like we said, as far as we're aware, Kawaki lost it the moment Ishiki fully resurrected. The chapter ends with more panels showing off Kawaki's new Ishiki mode, which looks just like it did back in chapter 36. I mean, what are we calling this? We got Boroshiki? What is this? Kawashiki? Kawashiki sounds good. Right, we're going with Kawashiki. Anyways, Kawaki's new form also inherits Ishiki's Dojutsu, just like how Boruto inherits Momoshiki's Byakugan. At first, we thought this was nothing, but as we know, Ishiki had his own unique Dojutsu, and that has 8 similar looking triangles, so we can presume that with time, Kawaki will awaken the same Dojutsu, being able to shrink himself and other objects. Now, many of you are probably wondering, but Harrison, how and why did Kawaki have his karma again?
Nope.
Well, like we already mentioned, and as we've seen in this chapter, Kawaki thinks back to when Amado tried to manipulate him into taking up his offer. We all initially thought that Kawaki had refused it, but it's looking more and more likely that he did take it, just off screen, which we will probably see next month in another flashback. And it's only now that it's properly activated due to the resonance with Boruto, as well as him saving Naruto, because the only other time Kawaki has ever showcased this transformation before was in a very brief moment where Jigen appeared in Naruto's house to take him away. Whilst trying to protect Naruto back then, the emotions within him seemingly awakened his Kawashiki form. Even Jigen was surprised by it back then, as Kawaki should have never progressed that much. But as we know, because of the resonance between Boruto and Kawaki, the two are growing at the same rate. So now that Kawaki has his karma back, despite it being a weapon-only one, because he has 80% of Ishiki's DNA flowing through him, he can still call upon his power. This probably also explains why the complete Dojutsu hasn't manifested just yet, because he's only 80% complete, in the same way that Boroshiki only has one horn. I mean, who knows? We might even get a name for it in the next chapter if Momoshiki knows what it is. Can you imagine that? We finally get a name for this Dojutsu? Oh my god, what a way to start the new year that would be. But the important thing to remember here is what Code said in chapter 62, where the only way to escape his world destruction is by escaping to another dimension. Well, now that Kawaki has his karma back, Kawaki at some point will do exactly that. Possibly even in the next chapter. Yes, that is right, people. We may finally see what Kawaki meant when he said he sent Naruto to a different place. We all thought that was initially him saying that he'd killed him, but I think if you're still following that theory in big old 2021, nearly 2022, you've simply just not been reading. There's no way in hell he kills Naruto. Therefore, Kawaki can only really send him to another dimension using his karma, which we know is capable of space-time ninjutsu. And obviously Code saying what you had to do to escape his plan in chapter 62 is like some of the most obvious foreshadowing I think I've ever seen, ever. But with that, I think that covers everything. So we'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and bye-bye.